Hello and welcome to another mini course presented by the Center for Teaching Excellence. Today we're going to talk about how to add rubrics to your course. Rubrics are incredibly useful. They help both you and your students realize areas that might need a little work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to Course Tools, and then under Course Tools we are going to select Rubrics. Once here, we want to create a rubric. We want to give it a name, and I'm just going to call this Project. And give it a description, a basic rubric for projects. And next up, we see the Rubric Details. This is a chance for you to edit your rubric type, criteria, and levels of achievement. First up, I want you to look at the Add Row, Add Column. Now, Add Row and Add Column do exactly what they say. So they add rows for criteria and columns for level of achievement. Next, notice rubric type. It defaults to %, but you can also change it to points, point range, percent range, or no points at all. Typically, when I'm setting up a rubric, I select points. If you would like to change the name of a level of achievement, simply select the drop-down arrow next to the level, select Edit, and then change it to the word you would prefer to use. Then select Save. You can do the same for criteria. Simply select the drop-down, select Edit, then type in what you would like it to say. Then select Save. Additionally, you can change the point value. By default, if you're using points, the default number of points is 0. We could change this to make it match up with the score that you would like to give the students. I'm going to say 1, 3, 5. Let's say you would like more rows and columns. Well, it's quite simple. Select Add Row, and now we have a new row. By default, the row's name is New Row, but you can edit it just like the other rows. Additionally, you can add a new column. Simply select Add Column, and it will give you a new column. If you would like to edit it, select the drop-down and choose Edit. What if you don't want a row or column? Simply select the drop-down next to the row, and then select Delete this row. The same can be done for a column. Select the down arrow, delete this column, and your column is now gone. Once you're happy with everything, select Submit. Now that we have a rubric, we need to apply it to a project. First, we're going to create a new project and use the rubric. Then I'm going to show you how to add a rubric to an existing project. Select an area in your course where you would like your assignment to live. I have this assignments area that I'm going to use. And in this area, I'm going to select Assessment, Assignment. And I'm going to call this Project 1. And then for Project 1, I would like the students to read and respond to Chapter 3. And then I'm going to scroll down, and I have all the typical options I would have here for a project. But what we're going to pay attention to today is right here under Grading, there's an area that says Associated Rubrics. And what I want to do here is I want to select Add a Rubric, and then I want to select a rubric because we've already made it. So I'm going to select my rubric, and then it'll bring up a list of your rubrics. Currently, I only have the one that we just made. Project, it's a basic rubric for projects. I will select that, I will select Submit, and then it will give me a little message here that says, click OK to assign the rubric's maximum points as the points possible. So when I do this, would overwrite, if I had put some points in here, it would overwrite that with the rubric's points that are possible. So I'm going to select OK. And then it brings up this little area down here. This next step is rather important, so be sure not to miss it. Hover over the box below Show Rubric to Students. Note here right now, by default, it's set to no. The students cannot see the rubric. There are a few options under here. We can say yes with rubric scores, yes without rubric scores, or after grading. I typically show after grading because I want the students to see how they did when I grade them. If you need to edit any of your other submission details, you can do that now. And when you're finished, you can select Submit. Prior to filming, I created a project without an associated rubric. This may happen to you. Let's look at how we can add a rubric to a project that we previously built. First, I'm going to navigate to where my assignments live. And for me, that's under Assignments. Earlier, I made Project 2. And what I want to do is I want to edit Project 2. So I'm going to select the drop-down arrow, then select Edit. And then I want to scroll down. And we can see when I made this earlier, I put in points possible, but I did not put in a rubric. We don't have those options for the rubric down here. So I want to add a rubric. And since this is a project, and I made my rubric earlier, I can simply go to Add Rubric, select Rubric, and this is again a project, so project, hey, a basic rubric for projects. I will use that. I will click the little box here, then select Submit. And here, notice originally I put in 30 points, but I have the option here to click OK to assign the rubric's maximum points to the points possible. And once I select OK, the points possible will change to 5, and the reason why is because the rubric I created was a 5-point rubric. Now, if you want to change this, if you still wanted it to be 30 points, you would have to have a different rubric attached to the project. Once again, I'm going to go over here to Show Rubric to Students, hover over No, and select After Grading. If I needed to edit any other options, I could do that now, and once I'm finished, I can select Submit. There are quite a few steps to this process, but once you do it a few times, it's rather easy to do. Additionally, once you make a rubric, you can use that rubric across multiple projects. Just remember, if you ever get stuck, need some help, a little bit of direction, just want to chat, drop by the Center for Teaching Excellence. We're always here to help.